What's good, Cowboys Nation? The offseason is in full swing, and we've already discussed some of the things the Cowboys need to do to fast track an improve it year under Mike McCarthy and now under new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. And one of the ways to do it is by acquiring veteran talent via free agency or in the trade market. Now, the Cowboys don't much dabble in free agency. We all know that. But they have shown the ability to target a specific type of veteran in the trade market. If you just go back and look just last year, the Cowboys traded for Stephon Gilmore for a 5th-round pick, Brandon Cooks for a 5th and 6th round pick. The previous year, Jonathan Hankins for a 6th-round pick. Go back the year before that, a few years, Everson Griffin, a 6th-round pick. Michael Bennett and Robert Quinn, also a 6th-round pick. So they have the ability, have shown the ability to go in and grab some proven veterans, granted, maybe past their prime, sure, but guys that can come in here and have some success, or at least make the attempt to have some success. So with that said, I thought about a few a few trade candidates the Cowboys could eventually look into. And I want to start off with what I think is one of the more obvious ones. Now, at the end of this, you will see there could be a bit of a caveat to it. Nonetheless, this particular player, if you're looking to fast track a Mike Zimmer defense, I look at a guy like Eric Kendricks, linebacker out of the Chargers, who can come in here and do exactly that. The new leadership in Los Angeles could open the opportunity for a guy like Kendricks to be on the market. He had a bounce back season last year in his first with the Chargers, 117 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. His average depth of tackle was 3.1 yards, almost a full yard better than the Cowboys linebacker Damone Clark, who led that position on the team in that category. And we know Kendricks has always been a quality guy in coverage. And what better player to fast track the linebacker position than a guy who knows your defense better than anyone and knows Zimmer better than anyone. He played 7 years under Coach Zimmer, and he's going to be a 10-year veteran. He's a 9-year veteran at this moment, will be 32 years old when the season starts. He's a former All-Pro under Zimmer, was drafted by Zimmer. Now, what about the money, Sky? What about the compensation? Well, he's in the final year of a 2-year, $13.5 million deal, $5 million base salary in 2024, and he will be a free agent in 2025. So it's not as if it's going to cost you a whole lot financially, and it really shouldn't cost you a whole lot in regards to trade compensation. But here's the kicker, and it's 2 of them actually. Number 1, with Harbaugh taking over in Los Angeles, they could opt to just flat out release Kendricks. Thus, he's not even part of any type of trade. You can just eventually look to grab him in free agency. That is an option, because if they were to trade or cut him, they could save $6.5 million on their salary cap. Number 2, the relationship between Kendricks and Zimmer ended on a sour note, so that would have to be rectified. If it is, though, he fits the type of trade makeup the Cowboys have routinely opted for, and given that they need a linebacker that can come in here and not only understand the defense, but help others understand it as well, his value for one season could be greater here than anywhere else. This also doesn't stop you from drafting a guy, and you could ultimately help set drafted players' learning curve with an addition of a guy like Eric Kendricks. Now, don't get me wrong, there are free agent guys that I prefer more, but just for this specific project right here, trade target candidates, Eric Kendricks makes sense when you look at what the Cowboys need and when you look at the coordinator that's here, where he could help not only, the team in general, but any other potential addition to the linebacker room and the front 7 as well, and getting everybody on the same page in a Mike Zimmer defense.
Each other, even though
we're late, we're messed up right here.
Right.
We get over late. Me and AB are pretty much stacked in the same gap. But the important thing is, to just calm down.
Okay.
What's the objective of the game is to track the ball carrier.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go to the right. And I just kind of guess it over there.
Yeah.
I don't think you're guessing. That to me is the stuff that fascinates me, because 99% of the guys in the league if you're set up,
You have
they
a
can
chance.
do the right thing.
Yeah, you have a
But
chance.
what happens is when it gets changed and now all of a sudden you're going, well, I could be this gap or this gap. And to be able to settle down and go, okay, AB took that gap, I naturally will take this. But to think that fast and play the game that fast, I believe is a rare concept that very few guys could do with things going 100 miles an hour like that.
Key is, you can't panic. I don't just sprint over there. I know where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I thought he was gonna get the handoff and go the other way. So I'm not gonna just rush over there if I don't have to.
The one-on-one with Eric Kendricks, that one was won by the linebacker.
So naturally on that, he tries to shift late. So naturally, okay, you're late. So normally you guys are just gonna stay in the spot that you're left in and you're just gonna make up for the other
They
guy.
may play to this position, take each other's assignment. The offenses nowadays, man, these rockets, these motions, these shifts before pre-snap, they're all trying to get you to mess up.
They want you to take the cheese.
They want someone to get out of their gap. They want the numbers to be in their favor. My objective is to find the ball. Obviously we have gaps, we have assignments, we have jobs to do, but I want to be a middle linebacker if I couldn't find the ball as well as I did, At the end of the day, that's his block and tackle.
That's just one of my trade target candidates. Tune into the next morning show as we break down a few more of my potential targets.